Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. The video that I'm sharing with you guys today is well overdue. This is something I wanted to do last summer, and as I've been booking a lot of cruises for this upcoming summer, it just seems like everybody really wants to cruise. It may have a lot to do with people not wanting to fly currently and flights being unpredictable. And if you have a port close enough that you can drive to it, it's so worth it to take a cruise for your family vacation. Plus you have the aspect of everything being all included. So right out of the gate, you can pretty much pay for your entire family for all of their expenses, including the drink package. And that is what I want to discuss with you guys today, is whether or not the drink package, and I'm really specifically talking about the alcohol package, the package that includes wine, beer, specialty cocktails, things like that, if it's going to be worth it to add it to your cruise. Oftentimes, there are specials where a cruise line will include alcohol in the package. And lately I have booked some cruises with Celebrity, Norwegian, even MSC, where they will include alcohol and Wi-Fi within the package that I'm selling to my clients. And in this case, I do feel like it is definitely worth it when they do have promos like that, where you can have basically your entire cruise paid for, including Wi-Fi and including drinks, exclusively alcoholic drinks, because obviously on a cruise, soft drinks and things like that are included. Some cruise lines include soda, but not all. Disney Cruise Line offers soda, and my daughter really does appreciate that on a Disney cruise. But if you can have a package where all of your drinks are included, including specialty cocktails and specialty coffees and things like that, it's definitely worth it. But I'm going to talk about buying the alcohol package, and I'm just going to call it alcohol package because you guys know what I'm talking about, and all cruise lines have different wording for it. But if you want to have an add-on to your trip where you're buying the package that includes alcohol, is it going to be worth it to you? And on our most recent Carnival cruise, I was able to purchase, for one person, it was $490 for 7 days, and that came to $70 a day. And I literally put in my notes on my phone every single drink that was covered by the drink package every single day. And here's the bad part about getting the drink package. You have this number in your head, and it's like you need to drink enough to make it worthwhile. This can be dangerous, number one, definitely not healthy, and you're taking so many more calories in a day when you have the drink package. So there's that. We're not talking about that part of it today, but I have to put it out there because it is in the back of my mind when I'm waking up in the morning and getting a mimosa and a specialty coffee before I even have my breakfast, okay? And then, having a couple of drinks at the pool, and then having a glass of wine with dinner, and then maybe a specialty cocktail in the evening at a show. And it's just, you're constantly consuming all of this alcohol and all of these calories, and it's just not good. But I worked really hard to reach the number that I needed. So I really wanted to spend $70 a day in beverages. But here is where it can work to your advantage. Usually the alcohol drink package doesn't only include alcohol, it includes bottled water, it includes specialty coffees. Sometimes it will include things like milkshakes, smoothies, things of that nature. This is where you can make it worthwhile without being drunk from the time you wake up in the morning till the time you go to bed at night. And that is where I really tried to take my full advantage of it. Every time I was walking by a bar, I would request a bottle of water. I would also get coconut water sometimes, which is something I really like to drink to stay hydrated, especially when you're traveling the Caribbean islands. So in that respect, I was able to some days get to that number that I had in my head that I had to reach. Keep in mind, you're going to be stopping in port several days, typically on your trip. And those days you're not on board to drink anything. You're not there to have specialty coffees or alcoholic beverages or virgin daiquiris or anything like that. So basically at the end of the day, in my experience, even when I tried really hard to make sure I was getting my money's worth, I still took a loss by the end of the week because there were some days where I just really couldn't drink at all. I just couldn't. And there were other days where I was not even on the ship, so I wasn't able to take advantage of the drink package. So trying as hard as I possibly could to have however many drinks I needed to have a day to reach that number, I still wasn't able to get there. Now, there are some people who can definitely make it worth their while. There are some people who can drink 8, 9, 10 drinks a day, but I am not that person, okay? And even if you are that person, if you're, say, just drinking beer, it still might not be worthwhile to you unless you're having cocktails that are like $14, $15 each or drinking expensive wine and things like that. I feel like it doesn't really always make sense. So that being said, it's a very personal thing. I would go to the cruise line's website and see how much their drinks are. And you know what you drink, right? So if you know you're going to have a cappuccino or something in the morning, and you know you're going to have a couple of margaritas at the pool, and you're going to have maybe a beer in the afternoon, and then you're going to have a couple of glasses of wine at night, just do the math. Look at their menu and add up every day what you could possibly drink. Like maximize like the most that you could possibly drink. And then think to yourself, are you going to be able to attain that level of drinking for 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row? And then do the numbers and see if that's going to make sense to you. Because I think most of the time, it's going to be a very difficult thing to be able to drink that much consistently every day on a like 5 to 9 night cruise. If you're doing a super short, maybe 3 or 4 night cruise, maybe you could drink that much for that long. But I would say on a longer cruise, it's going to be really hard to attain that. And on the Royal Caribbean cruise that we're currently headed out on this summer, I think it's about $80 to $85 a person a day. And their drinks tend to be a little bit more pricey. And also on Royal Caribbean, when you're at their private island, their drinks will also be included. So like within your package. So that's helpful. So at least one of your port days, you're still not taking a loss in that aspect. But even when I run the numbers for myself personally, it's not going to make sense to me. So anyway, I can't give you a right or wrong to whether or not you should get the drink package. I know some people don't really even care so much about getting to the exact number of what they paid. Some people just like the all-inclusive feel of it, where they don't have to ever think about pricing. So even if they're losing $10, $15, $20 a day, it might be worth it to them to just never have to think about the money aspect of it and just know that all of their drinks are included. I do like being able to also have just a basic beverage package, which is what I've done for myself on my upcoming cruise, where I can still have specialty coffees and bottled water, and I can get a smoothie or a milkshake. And that's all included, and it's much, much less expensive. So I think I will be able to get my money's worth on that one. Or cruise lines that have soda packages. If you have children that like to drink a lot of soda and you're going to be paying for it anyway, they can get the refillable mugs and they can have at it at the soda machine. So those things might really be worth it. But the alcohol packages are going to be very personal. You have to look at what you're drinking. Are you drinking beer? Are you drinking wine? Are you drinking specialty cocktails? Because those are going to be in different price categories. How many of those drinks can you possibly have in a day? And how many will you have in a day every single day? Take a look at your schedule. See what your ports are and the hours that you're going to likely be there. If you're going to be in Bermuda from 9 in the morning till 5 o'clock at night, 2 days out of the week, then you have to figure those 2 days, you're really probably not going to be taking advantage of that package at all. Something else that I do think is worthwhile though, on the Disney Cruise Line, for instance, they don't really have an alcohol drink package for adults, but what they do have is the ability to pre-purchase bottles of wine from the app. So when you arrive at the restaurant the first night, you can pick your wine and they'll keep it in the dining room for you and they'll pour your glass of wine every single night. You do have the option of bringing it back to the room with you if you want to just bring it back and maybe sit out on your balcony and have a glass of wine. When I went on a Disney cruise with my mom, we purchased, it was 3 bottles of wine for $99 at the time. And for us, that was so worth it because we were able to have maybe a couple of glasses of wine with dinner. And then at the end of the trip, like the last night, I just brought it back and we went to a show or something and had a glass of wine. And it was just enough to get us through our short cruise. And that worked out really well. And I also recommend that because if you are bringing wine on board, which a lot of people do, be careful because they have a corking fee. So if you just go to the dining room with your bottle of wine and they open it for you, they're going to charge you $15 at least for a corking fee. And in addition to that, don't even bring your bottle of wine to the restaurant because I have been charged $15 just for having a bottle of wine with me. And I didn't have them open it. I opened it in my stateroom. So that's ridiculous, but that is something that they will also do. So if you're going to bring wine on board, I would definitely use one of those little wine travel mugs and fill up in your stateroom and just bring your cup to dinner with you. Don't bring your wine to the dining room because they will really mess you up and they will charge you and it's really annoying. So there's that. And I think that's all I have to share today in regards to the alcohol packages on cruises. You guys will have to let me know in the comments below if it's worthwhile for you or if you have found any really great deals where you really thought it was worth the expense. In my experience, once again, for me personally, it does not make sense because no matter how hard I try, I can't maintain that every single day in a row for multiple days. I'm just not able to do it. But some people are, and they really, really get their money's worth. So let me know in the comments if you've ever purchased the drink package, what cruise line, and if you felt that it was definitely worth your while, or if you felt like you really wasted a lot of money in doing so. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that this video was somewhat helpful or at least had you thinking about whether or not this is something that you want to add onto your cruise. Obviously, I am an independent travel advisor, so if you ever need help planning a cruise or Disney or Universal or Caribbean travel or basically anything at all, I'd be happy to help. I always have my info in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.